Hey, what's up, YouTube? Thank you guys for stopping by and checking out my channel. Once again, for y'all repeat watchers out there, and those subscribers and people that have been following along on my journey so far, thank you guys. Those of you that have subscribed, liked videos, left positive comments. Just want to continue to encourage more of the same. Again, just thank you guys for checking out my video. Today, I'm just going to be going over what I've been learning and doing these last couple weeks in the Odin project. All right, here we go. All right, guys, so to start off, the section that I completed was the CSS Foundation section. So I've been working on that this last 2 weeks. So basically learning how to style with CSS and learning how to style HTML using CSS. So yeah, just kind of getting into the foundation and the basics of CSS. All right, guys, so to start off, the section I went over or have been working on with the CSS Foundation section. So basically learning how to style HTML with CSS. So to do that, obviously we got into kind of some of the basics and the foundations of CSS. One of those being the different type of selectors that you can use to, which basically refer to HTML elements to which CSS rules apply. So elements that you can modify and style using CSS. So one of the first ones is the universal selector. So universal selector basically can modify elements of any type. So if I select the background color to be red, yellow, it'll basically change it for the whole HTML that's linked to the CSS. The next one I have is the type selectors. So the type selectors are basically, can be like the paragraph, like in HTML, can be like the paragraph type, div type, heading 1, heading 2, heading 3. It's a little more specific than universal. It's more specific to the types of elements that you want to modify. The next one would be class selector. It's a little bit more specific. You put it within, you can add the class to whatever element that you want to, and it'll have that specific style that you put into the CSS. And the next one that we have up here is the ID selectors, which is even more specific, yet they are similar to class selectors. They select an element with the given ID, pretty much. So yeah, it's just a little bit more specific than a class or a type or universal selector. So also learn to how to group and chain different selectors that I named before. And also learned about the descendant combinator. So basically, you can have the parent element and then the child elements underneath it, and just kind of how that works. Also learned just the different ways to style using CSS. Learned about font, different types of font color, using the RGB, HSL, hex methods of getting a specific color, which VS Code really makes it easy because you can just kind of hover over and you can really modify the color however you want to. So it's kind of cool seeing that as well. But also learn how to, change the background color, change the size of an image, change the size of your font, how to align your font. So all the good stuff, that was pretty cool. I also got into the cascade of CSS, which includes just it starts off with specificity. So whichever selector is more specific, such as like the ID is going to be more specific than the class, and class is going to be more specific than the type. So got into that some. The inheritance, which is beneath specificity. So whatever style basically that element inherits, and just the rule order. When it really comes down to it, the last selector, the last style, I guess, that was kind of modified or put in there is what the element takes on. So kind of interesting getting into that. Also learned 3 different methods of adding CSS to HTML. The external method, you have a totally different page CSS file, basically, that you put your styles and everything on. You have the internal method where you can just have it right there in your HTML workup, and the inline where you just have the style basically within, kind of like it says, within a line of your HTML there. So a good amount of my time was spent kind of working on some of the assignments. I had 6 different assignments, pretty much working on different aspects of what I went over and learned how to kind of modify the styles, correct whatever mistakes were made in the CSS and everything like that. So that was informational and nice to kind of get my hands on, do that hands-on work and be able to kind of see how what I learned pretty much worked. So that was good. And another thing that I did as well, once I learned and really got a grasp of how to work and use CSS to style my HTML, I went to my project, the recipes project that I linked in the last episode, and I was modified it using CSS. So, went a little crazy. I kind of added a colored background, modified the colors of fonts, the size of fonts, the size of the pictures that I had in it and everything. So again, a really cool way to be hands-on and really learn how to use CSS to style HTML. So if you guys want to go back and check my assignment and kind of see the modifications that I made to it, feel free. Again, the link is in the last video, in the description of the last video that I made. But yeah, go check that out. So anyways, this coming up week, I'll be starting on the inspecting HTML and CSS. I did just a brief amount, kind of learning how to access the element inspector on Chrome and everything. So we'll be getting a little bit more into that. Other than that, I've been learning a lot. It's been great to be able to learn at my own pace. I know my schedule gets really busy, but I try to fit in and work in class as much as I can. But I think it's good that I'm kind of slowly learning. I mean, I'm trying to not rush through things and really grasp the concept behind different things that I'm learning, and not just get through the course, but focus on actually taking in everything that's presented in the course, and take advantage of the fact that I can take my time with it. I don't need to rush or be in any kind of hurry. There's no deadline, even though I obviously want to get through it as soon as I can. It's also nice to just be able to take a little bit, to not feel like I have to just get a huge chunk done at one time, and just take my time with it and work on it when I can. It's definitely a priority for me to learn and work through this class and spend time on it each week, at least several days a week, dedicated towards it. So guys, thank you so much for checking out my video. Please feel free to subscribe and continue to follow along with me on this journey. I've been at it for a little while now, so definitely have a routine down with everything. So we're doing good. We're getting there. As long as we stick with it, you know, we'll get there soon enough, and hopefully have a job here pretty soon. You know, we'll see how everything goes. But anyways, guys, again, thank you for checking out my video. Y'all have a great rest of your day, rest of your evening, night, whatever time it is you're watching. And we'll see y'all next time. Y'all have a good one.